Hi folks, this is PCIe projects. Many computer enthusiasts are buying single-board computers to use them in their home electronics projects. Many, including me, are also using them as desktops instead of classic PCs to access multimedia contents on the internet and also to do home office tasks. Playing retro games from the old gaming consoles and home computers from the 80s is also an option, but many of us are realizing that single-board computers are becoming prohibitively expensive. Today we're going to be talking about cheaper alternatives. There are a number of excellent and very cheap microcontroller boards with loads of general-purpose input-output ports or GPIO ports, which also allow for a direct attachment of homemade electronics. Some may even be programmed in Python, just like Raspberry Pi Pico and Pico 2. Could they be used for simple projects like controlling home lighting or building a home weather station? Or maybe there is an option to use a mini PC or even a full-fledged classic PC. We all know that all single-board computers share a unique feature, which is not available on classic PCs. A GPIO port features a number of GPIO pins which can control any kind of electronics, and it also supports different hardware communication protocols like SPI and E2C. Therefore, a single-board computer can play a dual role, being a microcontroller for simple electronics and a host computer for a sophisticated AI software that can also run recognition and decision-making. Many earlier generations of single-board computers don't feature M.2 connectors for SSD drives, but this is often not needed except for a desktop use. Analyzing the architectures of a mini PC and a single-board computer reveals that they are not so much different. Mini PCs have some remnants of the larger desktop PC architecture, but these are really not so important. It depends on what your product is. So many times the form factor is decisive. For example, if you're building a drone, you would surely want as small computer as possible. You would surely want to spare every gram of weight. But if you are doing a home automation project, there might be wide margins on your home controller on weight, size and power consumption, as well as performance. To replace a single-board computer, we basically have two options. Either to use a microcontroller board, which cannot be directly programmed because you cannot attach a monitor and a keyboard, but it needs a host computer for programming, which may be a single-board computer or a PC, and this usually doesn't really matter. If we take Raspberry Pi Pico or Pico 2, for example, each of them has a USB connector where you attach it to a classic PC or a Raspberry Pi or any other computer with an operating system, with a desktop and a compatible integrated development environment. However, if you are doing a project with an embedded AI, for example with a visual recognition ability, a simple microcontroller may not be enough. There are 64-bit microcontrollers like PIC 64 from Microchip, but they may not be exactly what you're looking for. You are looking for a computer with a processing power of a single-board computer or a classic mini PC. Then there are only two options. Either you use a fast wireless connection, which enables the use of internet cloud AI resources like Google AI or whatever is available, or even resources on your desktop PC, or a network-independent AI ability on board. The latter requires to have some kind of AI extension or an inbuilt AI ability, like a neural processing unit, which is inbuilt in Orange Pi 6 Plus and other single-board computers of the 6th generation. While Raspberry Pi 5 needs an AI head, there are also some single-board computers of the 5th generation like Orange Pi 5 Max with an inbuilt 2 tera operations neural processing unit, which is of course much less than Raspberry Pi's AI Head Plus 2, which can do up to 40 tera operations per second. But what if you want to use a mini PC instead? A Halo module can be attached to a mini PC with two M.2 slots, or to a mini PC with an inbuilt eMMC drive and one M.2 slot, which can in this case be used for a Halo 8 or other Halo module or a similar neural processing module. The only problem with a mini PC is that it's significant approximately larger than Raspberry Pi 5 or Orange Pi 5 Max, but it is usually approximately the same size as Orange Pi 6 Plus, which is approximately twice as big as Raspberry Pi 5. Mini PC's case may be another limiting factor, but it's worth to note that most of mini PCs can be extracted from their cases and used just like single-board computers. Many single-board computers also feature the main printed circuit board with a processor, a cooler, RAM, and M.2 connectors for SSD drives and other extension cards, and small satellite boards for additional features like additional USB ports. If you don't need them, disconnecting some of the satellite boards may spare valuable space in your robotic vehicle or a drone. What about software? If we dig a little bit into the past, we all know that Linux was originally developed for classic PCs as a free alternative to Microsoft Windows, which it remains even today. Linux has also evolved great graphical user interfaces, which may be even more innovative than Windows, but there is a catch. If you want to control homemade electronics, you'll have to attach a control board, because a mini PC or a classic PC doesn't have GPIO pins, so it cannot do it by itself, but it needs a microcontroller which can connect to one of its buses, like PCIe bus or USB from one side, and offer GPIO pins and hardware-supported protocols from the other side. And if you still don't believe me, let's take a closer look at Radxa X4 single-board computer. It's actually a marriage between a classic mini PC architecture and Raspberry Pi's RP2040 microcontroller. The latter is an older version, but if you connect Raspberry Pi Pico to any computer with USB ports, you'll get a newer version, which is RP2350. There is also a W version of Picos, which adds a Wi-Fi module. But Raspberry Pi Picos are not the only Arduino compatible boards. There are also a number of Arduino boards, like Arduino Uno, as well as microchip PIC32 microcontroller-based boards, which can be programmed in the Arduino IDE development environment. Speaking about software, there are also other popular development environments like Microsoft Visual Studio Code or Impressive Systems, IDF. There are, of course, very popular MicroPython development environments, which only require a MicroPython interpreter to be uploaded to the board, and then it can run your Python code almost instantly. If you've liked this video, please press like and subscribe buttons, and don't forget about the notification bell. If this video brought you a new value, hype it as well. See you!